So Teddy, thanks so much for your time and welcome to our time together. I'm really looking forward to learning a little bit about your business and learning a bit about you and just figuring out what makes you tick as an entrepreneur. Thanks again for your time, and I look forward to it. You good to go?
And so for those who are going to see this, I want everybody to know this is my friend Geoff Fairhurst in South Africa. Geoff's an action coach. We met probably 6 months ago through some other action coach friends. And Geoff, thanks for having me on this conversation.
My pleasure, Teddy. My pleasure. So Teddy, tell me a little bit about your business.
So Geoff, we are a LinkedIn strategist. Our purpose is to help business consultants, business developers, salespeople, account managers, sales leaders, and sales trainers help them master and understand how to use LinkedIn as a business tool. We do it, been doing it. We started the business, and my wife and I in 2010, went 100% at the end of 2010, and been having the time of my life helping people understand this business tool. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. So, I mean, my next question would have been absolutely, how long have you been in business? I'm just going to, so you're coming up for a 10-year anniversary, which is really fantastic. You're planning on doing something special for that?
Whoa, I haven't thought about that. Would be a good idea. I spent 35 years in the IT industry, Geoff. And in 2004, 2005, I decided I wanted to go start and do something else. And the one thing I'd never done was sell.
Okay.
So in 2005, I took my very first sales job, quickly understood and appreciated the value of commission checks, and built up a really good book of business, in part because I started using social media and primarily LinkedIn to reach out and connect with people. So we started a business in 2010, went live 100% January 2011. Good question. We really should have a party in January of 2021. We make a note of that. So
note to self. Might have a
party. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Excellent. So tell me, who do you serve? So really, how would you define your best customer? You know, I call it in our game your target audience.
No, that's my word too. Actually, Geoff, I took the phrase target audience and I morphed it into most important viewer.
Oh, that's a nice concept.
Yeah, because it's the person who's looking at my LinkedIn profile, my company page. It's the person who's looking at my content online on LinkedIn and YouTube and Quora, et cetera, et cetera. My most important viewer, i.e. target audience. Here's who I serve: business developers, salespeople, account execs. But my target audience, i.e. most important viewer, is the person who's responsible for that team of people. So that would be the sales manager, the VP of sales, the VP of sales and marketing, the director of sales. It would be the regional sales manager, again, who has a team of 5, 10, 20, 200 sales professionals that he's responsible or she's responsible for. So that's my target audience, is the leader who's responsible for managing a team of sales professionals. And he wants to help them have more tools, more skills, and to use these tools to find the person, find their target audience, get introduced to them, get into a conversation with them that could potentially lead to a business conversation.
Yeah. Awesome. That sounds like a very interesting, narrowed down and very well-defined target audience. And I congratulate you on that. And that's really a great starting point, I think.
Geoff, I keep trying. Sometimes you got to pivot a little bit. Yeah. I mean, in the early days, I thought my target audience was anybody who needed to connect with people.
Yeah,
that wasn't my target audience. My target audience is and on my very blunt, Teddy words from North Carolina, is the dude who has the money to pay for me to help his people.
Awesome, yeah. Fantastic. Teddy, what would you say? Obviously we're in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic crisis, no matter where we are in the world, and it's got different impacts on all of us. How do you think it's impacted you in terms of your business? And, quite interestingly enough, I was talking to somebody yesterday, likewise in the States, and they said it's actually been, without showing disrespect, a fantastic time for their business. And have you found the same?
So as I said, we're working on our 10th anniversary. One of the in our business plan was to go virtual, and the goal was to start going virtual in 2020. Start very deliberately moving to a virtual environment, because I traveled all over the country doing speeches and workshops and seminars, and so and I'm 62 years old. It's time for me to slow down and have way more fun. And traveling all the time isn't conducive to having a lot of fun. So anyway, in February, I actually closed down my office in downtown Winston-Salem and moved back to the home office, which I built out as a studio. You can't see it, but in front of me here is the executive director and the producer, and I've got the gaffer, and I've got the Mr. Grip guy, and all in my head, Geoff. I built this room out to do virtual coaching, so I came here. Well, that was February of 2020. March of 2020, all the alarms went off, and everybody decided to go virtual. Well, here's what the real impact was to me. I was ready. I had all my systems in place to be virtual. What happened was corporate America said, "Hold up, Teddy, we can't spend our cash so quickly." So that tanked new opportunities. That tanked, or slowed down the pipeline.
Okay.
Fortunately, I had a book of business that carried me, and it took until about March, April, May, late June before the doors started opening back up for more business conversations. Now, fast forward into August, September, October, what I'm discovering, it's nowhere near back where I want it to be, but I'm hearing more and more people come, my target audience coming to me and go, "My people don't know how to virtually network. My people don't know how to virtually sell." And so now I'm getting called to help people do virtual conversations, virtual networking, social networking. So because they're realizing now if they're not doing this, they're going to get left behind. So I'm excited for 2021. I think the business will grow well because I get to be a participant in what some people refer to as the new normal.
Absolutely. And I think that leads us very nicely into the next question for me is, what one or two actions have you taken recently that have made a difference, and how have you found this working? Obviously, the virtualization is the one big aspect of it.
Yeah, probably all around virtualization. The first of all, it's teaching virtual networking. It's teaching people how to do what you and I are doing. Yeah. Geoff, I use as you do. I use Calendly, and I use Zoom all day long. So what I've done for me, and I'm teaching other people how to do it, I integrate my Zoom to my Calendly, and my Calendly to my online contact information. I don't just give you my phone number. I give people my 30-minute Calendly link.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've made myself more accessible virtually. And that's made a huge difference. Very infrequently do I get on a phone call with this thing.
Okay.
More often than not, every engagement I have with people is through Zoom, and that is rewarding. Now, I've also, in this context, Geoff, I've learned how to talk directly to you through the calendar instead of directly talking to Geoff like this, which, so that's a big one. Integrate these virtual communication tools into my process. The second thing I've done is I've gotten way more deliberate.
Sorry to interrupt, Teddy. I just caught something there, and I think it's key to highlight it. And for me, it's that the one change you've made, or the one action you've taken, is integrated virtual communication into your product, and it's so important. We hear a lot about this Zoom fatigue coming up, you know, and it's because people are sitting like this and not really communicating and actively engaging in the people on the other side. So thanks for that. That integration is a huge win. I think that's going to come out of this.
It can't just be that we wrote down a process and said this is what we're going to do. We have to practice that.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm speaking directly to you. The little teeny dot on my camera is what I'm speaking to. But directly below you, below that camera, the only thing I see is you. It's like right below the camera. And that takes, most people want to, you know, blow up the screen and whoa, there's Geoff and there's Teddy, you know, all down here. And that doesn't work. I need to move you up to the camera so that I can speak to you and see your facial recognition, facial responses. And that's really, really a powerful communications tool, is to pay attention to the person you're speaking to and speak to them. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Thanks for that. That's powerful. Sorry, and then your second one you were going to mention.
Yeah, well, the second thing is that, so I'm a networking guy. I'm out and about for, you know, 60 some odd years, or at least the past 45 years, out meeting people, hugging people, laughing with people, kneecap to kneecap, shoulder to shoulder, you know, having a burger, a pizza, a beer, whatever. I can't do that anymore. So I can look at myself and go, woe is me. I can't get out and say hi to people. And I love to go say hi to people. And that doesn't make things improve. Or what I could do is go, well, let me find more ways to stay in touch with my network. And so I very deliberately every day look for an opportunity to say hi to one or two people that are not a part of what I'm doing right now, just so I can say hi to them, just so I can stay top of mind to them, just so I can let them know I care about them and I want to help them. And so I do that on a regular basis. Every day I reach out to one or two people who I've not said hi to, not networked with, just to say hi, what's going on. And here's, by the way, everything I do serves two goals. Goal number one is to be a human engaging with a human.
Yeah.
Goal number two is to look for opportunities, or make myself open for opportunities. You got to do it in that order. Be a human, engaging with other humans. And secondly, look for opportunities to discuss business where possible. And so, yeah, so one thing I will do with these things is I will FaceTime my people. I'll FaceTime my network. And that kind of freaks some people out who aren't used to that.
Yep.
I will also, I'm using LinkedIn audio messages more. So I will send my target audience an audio message. If I don't have their email address or their cell phone number, instead of written word, because you would much rather hear my voice speak to Geoff than read the words.
Sure, that's powerful. And the other thing, LinkedIn audio message.
And the other thing I'm doing too is I'm a Facebook user. So when I'm on Facebook, and my Facebook network predominantly is my community, my business tribe. It's not just my drinking buddies, not just my friends or my family. So when I see my business tribe on there, then I will Facebook video message them. And we get into some really cool, quick little chats. Geoff, I just want to say hi. I saw that post you did, funny as can be, or really appreciate it, whatever. I'm just touching base. If we think of Zoom and virtual networking as burdensome, it's wearing me out, then we're going to miss out on opportunities, because these tools and this method of communications is not going away. So I'm practicing different ways to use the tools to keep virtually hugging my network.
Awesome stuff. That's really powerful, and I appreciate that. Is in getting close to wrapping this up, what mistakes do you think you've made along the way in your entrepreneurial journey, on your journey of entrepreneurship? Because people say that to make a mistake is human, but to find a way to learn from it is genius. And I think others can learn from each of our mistakes along the way. So what would you say is the one thing that you would tell other entrepreneurs to be aware of?
So you're asking me to publicly peel back layers and tell people where I've screwed up?
Just the one. Just the one.
I got a big one, Geoff. I've got a
I'll
really
tell you
big
what,
one.
I believe that you're a bit more like an avocado pear as opposed to an onion. So it's just the green layer. It doesn't have to be the whole peeling an onion.
Here's a big one, Geoff, that really, this happened in July of 2019. And it was huge for me. Business was great. Pipeline was in great shape. Contracts were being signed. Revenue was up. Accounts receivable was manageable. And I was busy. My days were filled with doing what I do, and I was happier than a pig in slop, okay? Or a bee in a honey jar. Anyway, I got lackadaisical. I slowed down and you know where I'm going. I slowed down in the prospecting. I slowed down in the business networking. I slowed down building the pipeline. My wife came to me, I don't know, late July, and she said, "Hey, I just want to let you know quarterly taxes are due in October." Well, we've been doing this for 8 years, 9 years. I'm like, do I need to know that? And she says, "No, we have the money, we can do it, but your pipeline does not show enough growth beyond that." And she was right on. She was spot on. And sure enough, September and October, things got tight. And it wasn't until January of 2020 that it started to turn. And then go figure, COVID gets in the way. But what I learned from this as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is when life is good, when business is good, you cannot slow down in building your business. You've got to put as much energy, if not more energy, into it, because it's harder to do, because my day is filled with work, with revenue generating. I've got to find time for prospecting, networking, business opportunities, research. So that's my big one. I'm going to write that quote one day. When business is good, you cannot back off building your business.
Wow, that's incredibly powerful, and I think that's great advice for anybody, and it's very closely related to businesses. Comes in cycles, and the cycles are very much like the seasons. And if you think about the seasons, we all need to prepare for winter, and it's very easy not to. And then winter strikes and comes up and grabs us unaware. So figure out what the new summer is and keep putting stuff away for winter, and always make sure that we're putting stuff away. And I think for me, it's also, if I was to give one thing, what I've learned is that in this time, you have to have your plan and stick to your plan. And that plan has to involve the entire structure of the business, not just the good, the bad, but all of it. And structure your plan so that you're spending the appropriate amounts of time in each of the activities that you need to be spending it, no matter how good it seems at the time. But thanks for that. Yeah. So just in wrapping up, thanks so much for the time together. Obviously, you want to give your email and website and contact details out in this for the other viewers that are going to see this. I've got that, which I will use for sending it out. And is there anything you'd like to include, like an offer for people that are perhaps seeing this, and the old marketing adage, you're going to give a little code or something that people need to quote in order to access it. So yeah, feel free to put an offer in, and I'll include it on my site too.
Yeah. I have my mastermind group. That's a perpetual mastermind group on Facebook. It's all about mastering LinkedIn as a business tool. So I'll send you the URL to that for people to sign up to get for a 1-year subscription, but get 18 months of access to that mastermind group. So yeah, I'll give you that URL. Would love to have anybody that or anybody who's listening to this interview or reading it to take a look at it, and message me if you have a question about it, because my goal is to help people who want to use LinkedIn as a business tool.
Awesomeness. Thanks so much for that, Teddy, and I really appreciate your time. And yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on what you've done. Congratulations on where you're going, and congratulations on taking the action to have a chat to me, because it's important, and it's lovely to have you reaching out, and I appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Geoff. Take care. Have a great afternoon.
You too.